Are you feeling bored or uninspired at work? Do you wish you could make a real difference in the world, but doubt you have what it takes? Seth Godin says you can become a linchpin and change the game. In his book, Linchpin, Godin shows how anyone can become indispensable at work. Holding everything together with their unique skills, in this video, you'll learn exactly what the linchpin mindset is all about, and the 3 key traits it embodies. We'll also explore why becoming a linchpin is crucial in today's ever-changing economy. Finally, we'll offer practical tips on how to adopt this mindset, along with some advice on how bosses can support linchpin employees. Let's get started. What is a linchpin mindset? To understand the linchpin mindset, first, we must understand what a linchpin is. According to Godin, linchpins are people who see the work due as a gift to others, follow their own directions rather than anyone else's, and commit to being their authentic selves. With that definition in mind, we can safely say that if you have adopted a linchpin state of mind, you have the linchpin mindset. Let's go deeper into the characteristics of the linchpin mindset, to see what makes linchpin so special. Characteristic. 1. Linchpins give the gift of their work. Imagine you're at a museum. A regular tour guide might just rattle off facts from a script, but a linchpin guide, they'd go above and beyond. They'd ask questions, crack jokes, and share remarkable stories. They'd make sure you had the best time ever. That's because linchpins see their work as a present and give it to others. They don't do it for rewards or praise, they do it because making others happy makes them happy. It's like a superpower that keeps them going, even when things get tough. Godin says it's important to remember that being a linchpin doesn't mean putting up with a bad boss. If your job is holding you back from being your best self, it might be time to move on. But most bosses actually appreciate creative thinkers. So don't be afraid to step up and show them what you've got. Characteristic. 2. Linchpins do things their own way. Linchpins don't just follow the rules. They make their own. They're always looking for new ways to make a difference, even if it means shaking things up a bit, and they're not afraid to tackle problems head-on. Even if it's not technically their job, they take charge of their work and make sure it's done right. Take Netflix for example. They encourage their employees to come up with their own ideas and run with them, even if their managers aren't sure it'll work, and if things don't go as planned, that's okay. Netflix values taking risks and learning from mistakes. It's all about pushing boundaries and making things better. Characteristic. 3. Linchpins keep it real. Being authentic is a big part of being a linchpin. These folks aren't afraid to speak their minds and show their true colors. They build real connections with others and add value wherever they go. And that's what makes their lives so fulfilling. But being authentic doesn't mean oversharing or being unprofessional. It's all about finding the right balance and knowing when to open up. After all, you want to build relationships, not scare people off. Ultimately, being a linchpin is about making a difference and staying true to yourself. It's about giving your best, doing things your own way, and being real with others. Now, why do you need to be a linchpin? We've discussed what it means to be a linchpin, seeing your work as a gift, making your own rules and staying true to yourself. But why is it so important? According to Godin, being a linchpin isn't just about living a fulfilling life. It's also about thriving in today's ever-changing world. According to him, the old way just doesn't work anymore. Back in the day, you could get by just by following orders, whether working in a factory or an office. All you had to do was stick to the script and you'd have a steady paycheck. But Godin says those days are gone. As companies have evolved, they've streamlined their operations, making it easier to replace workers and pay them less. And with technology advancing at lightning speed, more and more jobs are being automated or outsourced. So that begs the question, are regular jobs really disappearing? Some people think that regular jobs aren't going anywhere. They believe that you can still find well-paying work as long as you have the right skills. But Godin argues that even high-skilled jobs are at risk of being devalued by corporate systems that prioritize efficiency over everything else in today's economy. Being a linchpin is the way to go. Instead of competing with big corporations on their terms, Linchpin offers something different. High-quality goods and services that go above and beyond what's expected, and that's something that only they can provide. Now, how can you stand out as an entrepreneur if you're considering starting your own business? Being a linchpin is essential in his book, Purple Cow. Godin talks about how the key to success is offering customers something remarkable and new by pushing the boundaries and thinking outside the box. Entrepreneurs can capture people's attention and build a loyal following, but it's not just about having a great product, it's also about building relationships. Linchpins don't just do their jobs, they connect with others on a deeper level, earning their trust and loyalty, and that's what sets them apart in a crowded marketplace. Linchpins also creates unique value in two ways, through innovation and relationships. By taking the initiative and solving problems in new ways, they drive progress and make a lasting impact. And by building emotional connections with coworkers and customers, they foster a sense of trust and loyalty that can't be replicated. But it's not just employees who benefit from strong relationships. Bosses do too. Empathetic leaders create a culture of trust and collaboration, leading to higher levels of innovation and productivity. So whether you're an employee or a boss, being a linchpin, the key to success in today's economy by embracing the linchpin mindset and focusing on creating value for others. You can thrive in any situation and build a brighter future for yourself and those around you. Let's now talk about how to adopt a linchpin mindset. Now that we understand what it means to have a linchpin mindset and why it's crucial in today's world, let's dive into how to adopt it in your own life. Godin suggests doing two things to help you become a linchpin, starting with facing fear. Godin acknowledges that embodying the linchpin mindset can be terrifying. The fear of failure, rejection, and judgment often holds us back from taking risks and being authentic. But according to Godin, it's precisely this fear that keeps us from reaching our full potential. Shame. The of not being good enough is often at the root of our fears. We're afraid of failing because we're afraid of being judged and rejected. But it's important to remind ourselves that we are inherently worthy of love and belonging, regardless of our imperfections. Godin offers 2 tips for overcoming fear and embracing the linchpin mindset. Tip #1. Accept fear instead of trying to soothe it. Instead of trying to push away our fears, Godin suggests embracing them. We only make our fears stronger when we try to avoid or suppress them. Instead, by allowing ourselves to feel afraid and not reacting to it, we weaken its hold over us. It's a process of acknowledging our fears without letting them dictate our actions. Tip #2. See fear as a guide rather than seeing fear as something to be avoided. Godin encourages us to see it as a signpost pointing us toward growth. The things we're most afraid of often hold the greatest opportunities for learning and development. By leaning into our fears, we can uncover new paths and possibilities we might not have considered. Otherwise, the next thing you need to do to become a linchpin is to avoid perfection instead of striving for flawlessness. Godin encourages us to embrace imperfection as a sign of innovation. Perfection, he argues, often means simply meeting someone else's expectations, but true value comes from doing something new and impactful, even if it doesn't fit the mold of what's considered perfect. Godin offers valuable insights on how to break free from the grip of perfectionism and embrace imperfection as a linchpin. Here are 2 key tips. Tip #1. Force yourself to finish imperfect work. One of the distinguishing traits of linchpins is their ability to complete projects and share them with the world, even if they're not perfect. Godin suggests setting deadlines for every project and sticking to them, regardless of how good the outcome is. This forces you to confront your fear of presenting imperfect work and helps you overcome the paralysis of perfectionism. You also want to consider sharing your creative process with the world regularly. You can attract an audience and make valuable connections by showcasing your unfinished work, accelerating your progress as an artist or creator. Tip #2. Calmly embrace negative outcomes. While it's essential to care about the impact of your work, Godin advises against becoming emotionally attached to specific outcomes. Remaining indifferent to rejection or failure allows you to stay focused on your next project without being bogged down by past setbacks. Some scholars suggest reframing adversity as an opportunity for growth by choosing to see the positive aspects of a seemingly negative event. You can cultivate resilience and move forward with renewed purpose. Ultimately, Godin reminds us that anyone can become a linchpin. It's not about innate talent or creativity, but about consistently taking action in the face of fear by confronting perfectionism and embracing imperfection. You can unlock your full potential and lead a more fulfilling life. All set. Adopting a linchpin mindset requires us to confront our fears, embrace our imperfections, and step into our authentic selves. It's not always easy, but the rewards, fulfillment, growth, and success are well worth the effort. So next time you feel afraid or tempted to strive for perfection, remember, being a linchpin means being brave enough to be yourself, flaws and all. Are you ready to become a linchpin? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this book summary, you'll love our other ones. So subscribe, remember to like and share this video widely.